Welcome back, squad. Today we're talking about how to not finish in last place in your fantasy football league. Let's get it. Welcome back, squad. Happy Sunday. How are we doing? Today we're talking about how to not get last place in your fantasy football league. This is not how to win your league. This is just how to not get last. We're talking about 9th and 11th place, baby. Let's go. The biggest and easiest thing I can tell you is to prepare ahead of time. If you go into that draft having done no research and no plan, you're going to kind of screw yourself over to some degree. You want to make sure you have some semblance of a plan going into it. It's good to have a general idea of kind of what you want and kind of how you want your draft to go. Do you want to take a quarterback early? Do you want a tight end early? Do you want to wait on both? Do you want to go wide receiver heavy? Kind of what is the vibe that you're going for so you can game plan before you go into that room. This is something that sounds super obvious, but don't draft an injured player. I understand the desire. I did it last year and it was a dumb idea, so I don't even take my own advice. Don't draft an injured player. If I draft someone who is hurt, I can't play them. I have to put them in my IR spot, which is maybe okay, but if you draft them early, you're just missing out on a potentially good pick. If your goal is to not lose your league, right, you need to trade for now. If your goal is to win the title, you need to trade for later. If your goal is to win now and not get last and make the playoffs potentially, maybe not win, but make the playoffs, you need to trade for now. Another thing is when you're setting your lineups, don't overthink your starters, right? You're going to play Josh Allen. You're going to play Lamar Jackson. You're going to play CMC. You're going to play Breece Hall. You're going to play Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. You're going to play them all, and you should play them all. That's good. Don't doubt them. They're going to have bad-ish weeks, but you're never going to know when that's going to be. That's just how it goes. Because if you potentially start them thinking they have a bad week, they might go off for 35 points. You're just not going to know. So start your studs. Don't overthink it. Don't make it complicated. Another thing is you can't be lazy on the waiver wire. You have to be paying attention constantly, especially in the first couple weeks, because that's when people like Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams come up, right? Look at those two. Last year, they absolutely shot to the moon. But you have to get them early and you have to get them fast. I'm not saying lose week one on purpose, but if you do, you really need to be prepared for who you could potentially get early. And the easiest, most obvious point that I'm going to tell you is check your lineups. You have bye weeks, you have injuries, you have bad matchups. If your goal is to not get last, you need to avoid risk at all costs. So if I'm playing for not last, I need to avoid high-risk guys. I'm not drafting like a Calvin Ridley. I'm not drafting a Kyle Pitts, even though I think he's going to have a great year this year. I'm not looking at these high-risk guys. I'm taking very safe later-round guys that I can trust to give me a safe floor. This is the number one secret that I'm going to tell you. I think it applies to whether you're trying to win the title or trying to not get last. You need to have running back depth. You have to. Running back is the most injury-prone position in fantasy football. You have to have depth at running back. If you draft 2 or 3 running backs and they get hurt and have a bye week, you're screwed. And suddenly you're starting Samaj P. Ryan. Suddenly you're starting Alexander Madison for the 6th week in a row and he can't score a touchdown to save his God. You're starting Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You're starting Jerick McKinnon. You're starting no one who you would actually want to start because it's who's on the waiver wire. Or you're just hoping your opponent has a bye week. It's not fun. Have running back depth. Wide receivers are a little bit less important because there's more of them on the waiver wire. Running back depth is so important in fantasy football. Anyways, those are some tips to help you to not get last place in your fantasy league, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Check out our other videos. Check us out on Twitter. All that good stuff. You know what it is. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Bye.